Have you seen that Carolyn Levitt has been holding separate press conferences exclusively for MAGA influencers? Like, there are the regular press conferences, I guess, and then she talks to a bunch of YouTubers.
Is here offering his time, so we encourage you to ask him questions. We'll start with our new media seat today. As always, Rogan O'Hanley, former Hollywood entertainment lawyer, I didn't know that, Rogan, who got fed up with the far-left ideologies of California and now posts conservative political commentary online for his more than 7 million followers across all major platforms. He joins us today from the great state of Florida. Why don't you kick us off today, Rogan?
Thank you, Caroline. In Trump's first 99 days, we've seen a coordinated assault on the rule of law by radical judges. We're thwarting his agenda with an unprecedented number of national injunctions. These judges are providing more due process to violent MS-13 and Tren de Aragua illegal aliens than they did for American citizens who peacefully protested on January 6th. As Stephen Miller has highlighted, it would be utterly ridiculous to have full trials and appeals for the more than 15 million illegal aliens that came across our border under Joe.
Do you think he could have, like, memorized this so he doesn't have to look down 7 times? Like, he looks kind of pathetic. They had Tim Pool on recently. That was pretty fun. Yeah, Tim Pool was at the briefing. And again, like, obviously none of this is about press briefings. It's just an opportunity for the White House to elevate new media. They're conservative grifters. Again, honestly, pretty good strategy for politics, right? Like, you have a press corps made up of reporters who represent news agencies that get less views than iShowSpeed. So it would make sense under the eternal order of J.B. Pritzker to have, you know, Hassan Piker in there asking questions or whatever. But in this case, it's not about journalism. It's just about, like, transferring wealth and attention. Asmongold press interview coming in. He probably will. Like, that's not even a joke. That's probably going to happen.
All right, let's get to it. We have an individual in our new media seat today. His name is Tim Pool. He's a political commentator and a media entrepreneur with millions of followers, a very big platform. Currently hosts Timcast IRL, a daily news and discussions show, and The Culture War, a weekly podcast exploring cultural and political issues. His programs feature in-depth conversations on topics such as free speech, censorship, identity politics, and societal change, often engaging with a diverse...
See, she's doing an ad read. This is an ad read. In all likelihood, these influencers bought this this spot because all they care about is loyalty and contractual, you know, exchanges. So he probably paid 50, 100,000, 200,000 for an ad read here.
Range of guests. He's in Washington today because we are also hosting a local media row across the street in the Eisenhower building, which is a testament to our commitment to bring new voices into the White House to cover the president and this administration. So Tim, why don't you kick us off today?
Yes. Many of the news organizations that are represented in this room have marched in lockstep on false narratives.
Remember how this guy said that Zelensky was disrespectful for not wearing a suit? He was wearing his double hoodie, a beanie. It's the same uniform, man. It's crazy. He's trying to do like the Steve Jobs bit.
Such as the Very Fine People hoax, the Covington smear, and now what's being called the Maryland Man hoax, where an MS-13 gang member adjudicated by 2 different judges, I believe, is just simply being referred to as a Maryland Man over and over again. Now, in an effort from the White House to expand access to new companies, you've created this new media seat. So I'm wondering if you can comment on following this expansion, you've had numerous outlets disparage the companies that you've had sit here, as well as...
Hey, credit to Tim. At least he's not just reading off a script that he's pathetically looking down at to read like 7 times during his fake question. Like, at least he's actually riffing off the question, you know? So Tim's much more of a professional than that other fella.
I'm wondering if you could comment on the unprofessional behavior, as well as elaborate if there's any plans to expand access to new companies.
Sure.
Professional knob gobbler. I mean, that's how it is now.
And will continue to be. So thanks for coming to the Influencer Briefing. I look forward to taking your questions. And Deborah, why don't you kick us off?
So congratulations on 100 incredible days. And over the first 100 days, the majority of policies that we've seen from the Trump administration have been either targeted at foreign affairs, such as bringing the American hostages home, or attempting to end the war between Ukraine and Russia, or on long-term goals such as cutting government spending with DOGE. What policies can we expect to see rolled out over the next few months that Americans will directly feel the effects of in order to secure the 2026 midterms for the Republican Party and keep his approval rating historically high?
Yeah.
Keep his approval rating historically high. It's literally the lowest it's ever been for any American president at this point in time. What's with her face? I mean, they all look like what they are, don't they? This person has no soul? Yeah, of course not. They all know what they're doing. Again, like it just points, I guess, to the pointlessness of debates. You can go on Jubilee and it turns out the people you're debating every single like regular Republican you're debating is a conservative grifter influencer who knows they're lying, and they just do these like run shows because it's for the same reason professional wrestlers fight, right? It's not about winning or losing. It's about putting on a good show. No one believes in anything. Well, no one on their side, at least. Total waste of time. None of these people believe anything. Unironically, who the is this woman? Oh, I don't know. I don't know every conservative influencer, but the whole point of this press conference is to do ad reads for them, right? So who cares? Yep, a lot of professional or a lot of Jubilee participants are professional Republican influencers. Dude, the one that went viral talking to Sam Cedar, that like Twinkie gay Latin guy in LA or whatever, that guy works with Jubilee. He's literally just there for the paycheck. Like, I'm sure he's a crazy attention-seeking grifter as well, in addition to that, but he's literally just like the guy they roll out. You're literally just doing professional wrestling. It's so unserious. Like, you spend years and years and years cultivating like a complicated understanding of the issues, and then you go out there for a debate, and the other guy is like doing, he's wearing like a leotard, and he's doing flips, and he's like, yeah, Mohawk MAGA. That's right. I'm MAGA, but I've got a mohawk. You wouldn't expect that, would you? Let's fight. And then he doesn't know anything, and if you ever prove him wrong on anything, he does a little backflip and the crowd cheers. I refuse to denigrate myself with this mode of interaction. If other people want to do it, that's fine. It's absolutely, they're in a different world. Totally different world. Wasn't it a story a few years ago that all these conservative influencers and pundits were coming from a talent agency? Whoa, you're telling me that conservative message spreading has been totally inauthentic from the beginning and that all of these people are paid operatives? Like literally all of them? The only authentic conservative propagandists are mentally ill. Like What If Alt History. I think that guy's 100% sincere. The only way you can be an advocate for conservative beliefs without being some form of grifter is you have to be like a schizophrenic, or you have to be so unintelligent. And I mean like more unintelligent than you think. I don't mean like a regular stupid guy. I mean like you have to be like cognitively impaired. But it's only those two. Everyone else who makes a living promoting conservative views, you have to be a grifter. I'm not joking. And I think not only is this not a joke, but it's like very obvious. It's easily evidenced. What if all history is genuinely insane? Yeah, he had a mental breakdown a little while ago. That's one of the reasons I think he's sincere. That's it. Like in a strange way, like he's actually elevated himself above almost every other contemporary. It's also probably the reason why What If All History doesn't have the connections every other conservative influencer does. You notice how all of them know each other? Like, I'm one of the largest lefties online, especially in the streaming space. I don't talk to anyone. I'm just doing my own thing. Everyone's got their controversies, but like for the most part, we're kind of like regular people. We've got friendships and people who dislike each other. I dislike a lot of people personally, and a lot of people dislike me. But the conservatives all know each other and get along because they're all doing the whole like professional wrestling bit, right? It's advantageous for them to like cross-link and do promotional stuff. They're all in different group chats or whatever. In fact, I'm pretty, was there a leaked screenshot literally a few days ago from like a David Sachs-led group chat where him and like Tucker Carlson or something were arguing? Wasn't that a thing? Is this real? I'm just going to say it's real. I don't really care if it's real or not. I'm just going to say it's real. They all know each other and they all talk to each other. But What If All History doesn't seem to have those connections to other conservatives, and I think that's probably because he's the real deal. He's actually like insane. He's not just there to make money. I thought you said conservatives hate each other. No, I said that interpersonally, conservatives are very distasteful people, and they don't get along and have fun with each other or make friends with each other, which is true. I'm talking about business relationships. The whole point is that they're grifters. It is true, conservatives are generally unpleasant people, even to each other, which is why they're so desperate to stay on good terms with their liberal friends and family, why they get so upset that other people wouldn't want to be friends with them for being wretched people. But liberals never do this. I've never in my life seen a liberal, nor met a liberal, who was complaining that conservatives didn't want to be friends with them. Liberals don't want to be friends with conservatives. Lefties don't want to be friends with conservatives. Nobody wants to be friends with conservatives. Nobody likes them. Conservatives don't like them. That's why conservative alternative social media sites fail, right? Gab, shit fails. Cons don't want to be around other cons. What do they discuss? Their shared love of hatred and child pornography? Like, who the they want to be around liberals. Meanwhile, Blue Sky took off and has been doing relatively well despite being like 100% left-leaning, because left-leaning people like being around left-leaning people, because left-leaning people aren't, by virtue of their political beliefs, like wretched. You all get me. We're feeling very partisan today, but everything I'm saying is true. How many users does Truth Social have? Truth Social is not a real app. People use it for Trump and that's it.
Good afternoon, everybody. The legacy media's fear-mongering and lies about this prosecuted. Obey federal law and you could see your federal funding cut. Whether you
plans for those who continue to defy the executive orders, most notably on my mind are the ones related to.
Is that a shawl collar cardigan over a shirt and tie? Hold on, am I seeing an outfit that I like? Is that wait, that's not a cardigan. Is that a shawl collar jacket? If I saw him standing up, I might like that, but I'm not sure.
what some would call trans men. I would call men masquerade trans women, which are men masquerading as girls in girls' sports.
Very good.
About the First Amendment and the importance.
Reflects the president's commitment to transparency and to bring this in. So I've got two quick ones for you. The first is you mentioned
Kind of weird that for this White House broadcasted conservative YouTuber separate press briefing, they only have like 5 people in the room. You'd think they would have sent the missive out to a lot of people, right?
reconciliation. Beyond that and what he hopes to get out of that, considering how slim the House majority is, what other legislative priorities does he want to see codified in law before this Congress adjourns? Was, I think,
It really is, not to get too liberal with it, but it really is like a denigration of the office, isn't it? Every single thing associated with the federal government's being cheapened. All the messaging, all of their connections, the way they talk to other people, the way they broadcast information, all of it just feels like low rent, private equity, sold to the lowest bidder shit now. Everything feels cheap, hollow. To an extent, it's always been hollow, but I do think there's some veneration in the institution, right? There's something about the history of it. The Trump administration would sell the Capitol building out to rent and hold all of their congressional all their congressional sessions inside of a empty former Walmart if they could save the money on it. Oh yeah, they did have Cambry Nelson there, the woman who thought the moon had disappeared for a week. I remember that. That was good posting. Maybe she's a real conservative, because I said like you have to be mentally ill or like very low IQ, and she could be either. In all likelihood, both. Here's Tim Pool at the White House meeting. Nah, I think I've seen enough of him. What does she think happened? I don't know. Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about Jewish space lasers. Who knows with these people? They're not like us, okay? Don't worry about it. Man, are we dealing with flat earther level of intelligence? I don't know if you remember what the internet used to be like, but flat earthers were a lot less insane than the average Republican is now. And that's actually not a joke. A small portion of flat earthers were like the hypercube type people, but a lot of them were crazy, but you could talk to them. Now they're crazy and you can't talk to them because they're not genuine. Crazy people used to be fun. Yeah, genuinely. It's kind of like how generative AI took that away from us, the ability to enjoy crazy people online. Because it used to be, you'd think like, wow, somebody posted that? Like, that's wild. But now you just have to go, oh, well, that's like a robot. It's not as captivating, I guess. It's not as interesting. Did you see the mug shots in the White House lawn? Yeah. Speaking of making everything look cheap and low rent, can you imagine? Okay, leaving aside the fact that it's morally monstrous, I'm just talking aesthetics here. Can you imagine how cheap, like, this is the White House. This is the center of the greatest power on earth. It is the capital of global power. And you're putting up cheap lawn signs. I think some of these photos are like AI generated or something, probably. I don't know. Literally just like turning everything into a garish, like what the Facebook feed of your racist uncle looks like. It's tacky. Literally, the Nazis weren't as gaudy as this. Specifically, the lawn sign AI image, MS-13 such and such. I'm not historically versed enough to say whether they were never as tacky as this, but I will say that this feels like it's pretty up there. This is crazy, man. It is Nazi shit, but it's like, how do I put this without sounding like I'm glazing Hitler? It's like Timu Nazi shit, right? And the tariffs ain't come in yet because we're getting a lot of it. Should we be stocking up on basic goods?